Alright guys, just the update on my eye. Look at it. That's because that's from on Friday when I punched myself in the face. Told you it was a massive punch. It got myself real good. So hopefully that gets better soon. But no black eye, which is good. But I've got bags. I'm so tired.
Alright, happy Monday, and we're back. Hope everyone had a good weekend. However, my eye has gotten bloodshot completely. I didn't get the black eye that I was anticipating, which is yes and no, but it is very sore. So today, we're just gonna work on the DC2. The last time we took it out was, we had a pretty good run. O2 sensor light was off for that period. We're just going to clean up the drivability, the vibrations and whatnot, and dive down into why that's happening. So relatively quite easy, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to open up as well. Alright, so first is just clean up some of the under dash wiring that I've made. Mainly the fan override switch that I've created. Wasn't planning to keep it, but because the fan switch isn't actually turning on like it should, or I can't get the temperature up to temp, I think it's a good contingency to have. So just utilizing my best friends, some cable ties and a drill bit. We're gonna tap that right there. So it'll sit relative just there. So out of the way and out of accidental touching it. So maybe up here, just so it's a little bit neater with the bonnet latch. I'm not too sure, but roughly around somewhere like that.
Because they form the basis
that,
for
guys?
socialization.
Nice and easy.
Additionally, they educate and protect the next generation.
The reason I did that, the reason why I placed it like that is because that way if you accidentally hit it, it stays down. So you accidentally hit it, it stays down. Clever, huh? And I think I've lost the spring for this. It's not staying up. I need to find it. Slowly at a time. But there seems to be a lot of vibrations coming from underneath that dash and this door. So I'm gonna pull it off and find out what the issue is. Having this big camera and trying to record this stuff is a little bit difficult. So I'm gonna switch you guys over to DJI and hopefully we can get some better footage from that. Alright, so we're just doing the bare basics. Hopefully you guys know how to remove the door card. Normally there's probably just two to three screws across the board. Only one in the handle, one behind the actual latch for older cars. And then there may be a mystery bolt that's behind the speaker. Everything else is just via some of those plastic plugs that you just pull off with a little bit of force. For most cars, the newer cars now, I'd imagine they're all plastic, so you should be able to just yank them off. I have never taken off this door card, so I don't know what I'm gonna see behind there. But years ago, when the old owner was happy to take me for a drive, I don't remember this much noises, so something's gone astray. And just a little bit of force. There we go. Everything's popping off. Trim's off. We don't want to disconnect anything, but we just want to see what these vibrations could be coming from behind. So possibly, I don't think it'd be these cables making these noises. We've got the plugs at the bottom, yes. Well, let's just tighten up those screws. We've got some screws back here. Let me show you. We've got some screws back here that hold the little pocket in place, so we're just going to tighten that up. I come in from this side. Let's see if any of these are relatively loose. No, not loose. And we've got the two clips here. which is a good indicator. Actually, let's just go through all of it. Make sure everything's tight. Got a small turn there. No turn there. Alright, good. Alright, so you guys are probably gonna have struggle seeing this. Pretty sure we did these two from the other side, but just to be sure, but I can't see anything that'd be causing that much vibrations or sound that comes from there. Maybe I'll just get some foam tape and I'll stick it along the bottom just to be sure, but it actually sits a little bit further, so it probably sits up here, so I'll do that. Second thoughts, before I jump ahead, looking at these move a lot. So if it moves a lot, then maybe I can probably, not too sure about that one, probably just stick tape over it and then re-punch the hole. Hopefully that gives it a little bit more bite, I guess. Or maybe I can just take them off and then wrap some Teflon or something over it, under it, and then that should fix the issue, hopefully. There, let's do that. That seems like the simplest option. Alright, so I managed to get some Teflon, and all basically, I don't know if this will work, just ideas that come into my head, good and bad. And I'm just gonna add some girth to the bottom, just so it could try to hold itself in place. Probably stop some of the vibrations. So stick it in. Oh, not bad. So, like I said, hopefully this fixes it, and then you can add that one to the genius list of ideas that I come up with. I'm just going to continue that on the rest of these. Alright, and that's done. So hopefully problem one will be fixed. And a slight gap at the bottom that was causing a little bit of vibrations. Sorry, I don't know what is on this USB. Let me turn this off. I'm not too sure if you guys can see it. So added some foam under there, and then hopefully that's one side fixed. Probably a lot of stuff was to do with this vibrating, but I'll remove all that just so I can be sure. So tape, fuses, basically stuff that I probably don't need at all. So that dash is bolted in, yep. A couple of bolts and screwdrivers in here as well, so I don't know where they're from. So we'll find out. Oh, that makes sense. These are missing bolts. So I'll do that one at a time, and then we'll discover what's underneath here. That's where my brakes are. We've got the SRS unit not in existence on this car. This could probably be causing some vibrations, so probably just going to see if I can beef up the sides just so it can sit a little bit more snug. So this is how it sits at the moment. So I'm just going to push a little bit of things on this side. I'm not too sure what. I'll figure it out. The foam would be way too thick for that. And then put it back in. So since I come from a background of painting, hold on, single screen preview. Okay, cool. I know that. I come from a painting background. I'm just gonna do a false edge. I think that's what you call it. And that way, it won't provide too much but it will provide a little bit of space. Doesn't help that this dash is probably a little bit dirty and my masking tape doesn't want to work. I'll basically cushion it there. That's not going to be perfect, but hopefully we can test it out. The concept anyway. Looks like it works. Snug, can't even, snug, and you can't even see it. It's like there's nothing at all. Nothing at all. That's another movie reference for you guys to figure out. I figured it. That's from The Simpsons. It's from The Simpsons. Alright. We found the spring for the other side, so we'll put this over there and we'll get to that. But, alright, let's go under. So we're currently under the dash. A few things missing. Bolts there, but that's normally for just the underneath boxes. But I can't see anything else that would be causing so much issues. A shout out to BYP back in 2014 or something like that, actually 2010, when we first built this car. Alright, I'm going to replace those bolts with some new 10 mils. So the amount of bolts and screws that I had to supply for this car is probably super high. But I guess this is what happens when you just buy a car that's been stripped. So I'll give you a story time based on this car, this exact car. I think it's got a very unique story of how it came to what it was. To actually how it came to what it was to how it is now. So very interesting. I think he's even still got the old thread based on this original chassis. So I'll post that up in the description and I'll let you guys have a read. But I reckon this car received everything. The best of everything. And then eventually it came to me, which is only getting the things that I can provide it. So sorry, I'm doing my best. Accidentally hit the wiper button and nothing came onto the screen. So typical me, got side quested and I installed this line for the washer bottle which goes down to there. So the problem was, when I was routing it, I noticed that most of the cables go underneath the washer. And then there's a little groove there, if you guys can see it, that is meant for the washer. So let me see if I can get down low enough for you guys to see it. So right there. So I'm going to run it through there and hopefully I can have it a little bit neater than the current setup. Alright, so I'm going a little bit extra right now, and you guys can quote me on this because I'm going to regret it down the track. I'm just sliding this underneath the fender so that way it can be nice and discreet. And you probably screwdriver to push that in. Hopefully I don't piece anything. Like I said, being super extra right now, and then it doesn't need to go back here, but now I'm just being an idiot. So alright, so that goes there. We can tighten this back up, and like I said, in a couple of months time, weeks or even, I'll be like, why did I do that? Yes, Q. Smart idea to push a wire through with a sharp steel object. Alright, cool. Looks okay. Could have been done way better. But like I said, I have stupid ideas and I kind of like brain fart the ideas into fruition. So how's that? So it's kind of pointless, but oh. On a more interesting note, we've got some deliveries here. So let's just go through it and see what we have. I have no recollection of what I've ordered. So number one is we've got a spare battery for the SLR. Spare battery for SLR, which is awesome because when that battery dies, it takes forever. I'll cut the internal bag as well. This is, yes, this is a defouler, so maybe we can get working on that. What is this? Is this? Digital camera DV AC5 Pro Action. Maybe that's Action Cam Pro? Not too sure. Looks like it. Looks like it came from the same factory. Yes, DJI Action 4 camera, spare, which is always good. I've used these spare batteries, these types of spare batteries before. They work pretty well. And we finally got some mounts. So this is the first of mounts. This is one of the mounts to arrive. And I think this will probably be the most used because, oh wait, it's a necklace. Why is it a necklace? Is it magnetic? That's kind of stupid. Oh, the magnet sits on front. Ah, magnet sits on front. So, what? Is that the magnet? Which side's the magnet? It should stick on something. That is magic. What? How is that a magnet? It feels like a magnet. Ah. Oh, wait. I just remembered. That's fiberglass. Ah, makes sense now. So, confirmed. It's metal. All right, cool. Cool. So that'll come in handy. Also come in handy for the mic. And what do we have here? It is more mounts, more mounts, more mounts. What mount is this? I think this is the actual magnet. Yeah, it's the Strongboy magnet. So we'll be using this magnet a lot. So it'd be great for the camera just to sit on basically whatever I can get my hands on. So that's it for mail time. So I'm playing around with the magnet right now and check that out. All right, so hands free. You guys can see what I'm working on. And I think if I'm ballsy enough, I can just sit you on top of the car. But I don't know if I want to put that to risk on the camera. It's pretty strong, but maybe if I have a safety strap on it, it'd be really good. So I'm just looking for metal at the moment. So how's that? All right, cool. All right. Alright, that's gonna be my thumbnail. And as an added bonus, so I've got this strap here, which is perfect because it attaches my mic. So if I wear this behind it, it negates the whole issue of me losing the magnet. So pretty cool. Right, so with this mount, it's kind of a bad thing because if there's no magnet, if there's no steel around, then I'm kind of screwed. This guy is not working, and I've tried to disconnect it and then rotate the, there we go. Try rotating it, still doesn't work, so I'm going to take it onto the test bench and see if, what's the culprit? Is it the car or is it the light? So, test bench here, you guys get a bird's eye view thanks to China, and let's see if it works. No, that doesn't work at all. Alright, let's just test it directly. Nope. Oh, so it does work. So we're going to replace this guy and see what happens. Alright, sorry about that. It took me forever to find this guy. So the reason why I don't leave this guy in is because just in case they accidentally touch, and I don't want any sparks. So let's test it again. So we're obviously touching it. Huh, okay. Reverse it. Ha, works. Cool. Maybe the other one worked. Alright, so let's put it in the car and let's see what the issue is. So this guy is not working, so let's check the fuse. I was reading the Japanese translations and I couldn't find anything, so DC2 interior dome fuse. What number is it? Assuming blah blah blah, shows left foot, yes. Dome illum interior. So obviously it's not popping up with any of those terms, so I'm just going to look for an image of a fuse as another person's fuse. I have another Integral parked in my front yard, so let me review that. So my DJI is battery is running low, and I've just realized even though I've got the second battery, I've got no way of charging it. So I think I have to buy another charger so I can charge the second battery whilst I'm using the camera, because it kind of negates the problem, fixing the problem. So said Integra. Said Integra. Oh, it's different to mine. Instrument, Calsa, cigarette lighter, relay, meter. What the hell's a meter? Instrument lights, no. We're looking for interior dome light. Anything that says interior, turn lights, pump, no. Instrument lights, no. Interlock. I got nothing. Do you guys see anything? I am not too sure. I'm not too sure. And I like this design. It's so simple. And that guy's loving life. Singing down the road. Nothing wrong with that. If you've got a good voice, even if you have a bad voice, own it. Own it. Alright, I am a genius. So, I wonder if I can take it out. Alright, so this is how you install it. So, see, this is where it's supposed to slide in, and this bit locks it in place. So, that's how you do it. And also, there is no interior dome light that I can find. There we go. Alright, so another thing I thought I may as well tinker on is you've probably been looking at my engine bay and wondered why I cut this area out. So the whole concept, I like this angle. So the whole concept was to get rid of heat or feed the turbo air directly from the outside of the car. So instead of running a tube all the way to the front of the car, which is relatively quite narrow, it would run a just probably like it's very similar to the Mugen style intake that you see on the DC5s, where they pretty much run it out of this area here. So that was the idea of it. So I've already cut it, so we've just got to get a plate and place that on. So I've managed to find some leftover scraps that I've got, and I've got this piece of aluminium where we're going to give it a try. So basically we're going to cut it so it fits in there, and then we'll see what we can do. And that's done. So it'll sit relatively like this. It'll cover the area. Whether or not this groove goes down or not, I should probably mark it. I'd rather it go down further than later. So where's my marker? I'd rather it go down to there and there, and then I think that's a straight line. Yeah, so that seems like a straight line. So it will sit something like that. I don't know if you can see that. No, you guys can't not see that. So it will sit like this. So basically, from anyone else's perspective, that's how it look. I'll seal these sides, so any water runoffs and whatnot will run all the way through as it would be. But I also have a duct for air to come out of, because I like vented bonnets. I like all that type of things. I like making cars unique. So, or ricey, whatever you guys want to call it. So basically, that's the design. Sit like that. Once I cut it and fill up all the holes, spray it black. I don't think anyone will notice that, and I think it'd just be a very subtle thing that's done to the car. So I managed to cut that down. If it's okay, wish it was a little bit better, but here's the look. That's how it sits. So it'll sit relatively flush on the bottom, and then I'll just seal that up. Probably don't even need a seal, because if water runs down there, it's not a problem, because it'll just run out of the chassis. As long as water doesn't directly flow into that area there, which is the cabin filter, so I think it should be okay. Paint it black, and then I'll just bolt it down somehow nicely, and it should be Bob's your uncle. Alright, so using the chest mount, you guys get a POV. Did someone take my spray? Oh, it's damn it, this cut of dog fur. Alright, first is first. If you're painting anything, like your cars or anything like that, don't paint in direct sunlight. Alright, so the ultimate dream would be to use up all this space that I have available in my backyard. Have a massive warehouse, a factory back here. So that measures roughly, I think, 11 meters across, down. 9 to 11 meters. I'm pretty sure it's 11, all the way from there. So roughly, let's just say, if I could have a 7-meter shed all the way back there, from the fence all the way down to here. So it'd be roughly 7 by, say, 15. And they'll probably be about half my backyard. If I could have something like that, can you imagine the mess I would create? It'd be great. Alright, so that's mostly dry. I say mostly because I'm not 100%, but I don't want to test it either. So I've already drilled it, found these OEM style bolts. I think they're used for your speakers or something like that. And the top hole is too big, so I have to, ooh. Alright, so clearly I didn't figure that one out. So we'll touch it. Alright. There we go. There we go. Where's the bolt hole? It's up there. Ooh. Missed that one dramatically. These screws have really big threads. I should have done this one further in, but well, no. Let me know what you guys think. When we pop the bonnet, what do you see? I see nothing. That's perfect. Basically like that. So we can have a snorkel from here all the way up to there. Not bad. Well, I think that's annoying because I just found out I was recording all my footage today in slow motion. Like the DJI, I don't know why it's so sensitive. I'm going to remove these screen protectors because they are causing me an issue right now. So had some really cool content. I'll try to speed it up, but no promises. So I don't really need to do it, but since I have them, I'm going to put these in. I don't know if you guys know, but these are the clips that hold in your cowl. So we're just going to put them in and enjoy the simple things. So that's on me because those clips are actually for your rubbers for your doors, I think, from memory or something. They're for something, but not that because it doesn't fit. Anyways, I'm going back to my grassroots, which is capitalize. What are we eating? Depends on what we're eating. Yeah, I'll take rice and spam. Do we have any rice? What do you mean we have no rice? We had plenty of rice yesterday. Oh, really? I don't know why I have so many ants on the car. Maybe it's because it was parked in my yard. But it seems like I have a colony somewhere. Need some amount of time to sync up all that slow motion and the audio together. The conversion's eight speeds slower, so it's going to take me a while to get that sorted. But all in all, I think DC2 is ready. I'm going to take it for a quick squirt, just to make sure we have ticked off most of the noises. Also have to do a tray, like a proper battery mount for this setup. It's gonna sit there, but I'm not too sure how. There's some bolts that are currently in the chassis. I think I did those, so probably just a plate over it to hold it down. Nice and simple, nothing too complicated. But that's that. All right, let's see what we can do. Let's see where you want to go. On the roof, on the door. Let's go here. Probably in the middle, right? Or on the wheel. On the wheel setup would be sick. Alright, let's go on the wheel. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, bad luck. So, sadly, it doesn't seem like we're going anywhere. But in the meantime, I think I have a solution to get another battery. Alright, so bear with me. Let me just go door knocking. How's that footage? So I've still got you synced up the mic so you won't hear too much road noise, but you will see cool tire angle or steering input. So let's see if this guy is home. Did you get rid of it? They got, ah man, they got rid of it.